Hello there, Michelle and Tina. Naruka, Dale Young, hello. So if this happens to them, it could happen to you also. You're not safe from this type of an influence or this type of thing happening to you in your life, okay? Just this is where I'm going to go. I'm just going to speak it out, you all, because this is what's been laid on my heart. So if you set a child in front of, say, a computer or a TV, and all you show them is shows on how to cook, from the time they're able to sit up or stare at something, if you showed them TV shows, that's all they watch, how to cook certain types of food and stuff, for like 5, 6 years or 7 years, they're going to really be into cooking food. If you set them in front of a TV and you showed them, say, dancing videos, a certain style of dancing from a wee, real little until, they're 8 or 9 years old, they're going to be really good at that because that's what they're going to be, it's going to be ingrained into them. If you set them, hello, Naruka, thank you. If you set them in front of a TV or a television or a computer, and all they sit and look at is, and listen to people talking negative to one another, very violent videos and stuff, abusive videos, abusive speech and all that kind of stuff, they're going to, if you set them in front of that, that's the main thing they consume, they're going to be like that. They're going to have the words coming out of their mouth, the foul language and all of that. If that's what you set them in front of, if that's what they hear, the majority of their childhood and stuff like that, even from a wee thing, how much different are we as adults when we sit and watch certain things, listen to certain things, day in, day out, and that's the majority of things that we consume. It's going to come out of us too, because why? It's going inside of us, you all. If I'm going to speak for myself. If my mother would have allowed us to hang around with the bad kids, the kids that, they smoked at a very young age, the kids that were having sex at a very young age, the kids that were using foul language continually, the kids that were really bad, and she didn't do nothing to stop us, and she let us go around them and do stuff, it wouldn't be long until, that's all we knew, and then we, too, would be like that. Now, can I say that 100% of the time? No, because people do turn their life around. But what I'm saying is, even a child, it's like a verse, train up a child in the way they should go, and when they're old, they won't depart from it. When you yourself sit and say you give your ear to people speaking, all this negative stuff, slandering and all this kind of stuff, don't think that you're immune to it. Because if you watch yourself, you may find yourself imitating that which you see and that which you listen to. You too will start imitating. Okay, let me take this. I don't like to go here, but I am going to go here. If you listen, say you go to church. I don't have nothing against churches. Say you go to a church, and they're really hardcore, and they want women to stay in their place. A woman is not allowed to speak in church. A woman is not allowed to wear anything except long sleeves, long dresses. Your hair is to be put up on your head. If you got anything to say, you have to wait till you get out of church. Say you went to a church like that, and you went there as a little bitty child from the day you could walk, before you could even walk, and you grew up in that environment. That's all you're going to know, and you're going to imitate that environment right there. You're going to take that because that is your life now. That is who you are. It has literally been ingrained into you. If you are, say again, and I'm not picking on churches, but I can speak because I've been in churches. Okay, I have, since a little child. if you go to a church and say they badmouth anything and everything that does not fit their doctrine, anything and everything, because they have their own doctrine. You go and you put a child in a church like that when they're a baby and they grow up into that, that's going to be so ingrained in them. And they too, when they encounter people who goes against that, I've had it happen to me. I had someone tell me, a little bitty child, did you know that you're going to go to hell because you're wearing pants? You're going to hell because you're wearing pants. And I looked at this little child and I was crushed. It came out of the mouth of a little child. Why? Because they grew up in that environment. That's all they saw. That's all they heard. The same thing with TV. If you don't want your children, and even in your household, if you're going around and all you're doing is like cussing and bad mouthing and all this kind of stuff, you're drinking and you're smoking, and don't get mad at your children when they start imitating what they see and hear. Don't get mad at them if they do that, okay? Because you're the example. You're the example for your children. Just like when you turn on the news or the TV, they got all kinds of shows that will appeal to anybody and anything from all walks of life. You want it, it's out there. And when you start consuming that, when you start focusing on that one thing from all walks of life, from all different tastes and stuff that you want, it's not going to be long before it too is going to get ingrained in you, even though you may not be a child, even as an adult, a teenager or something. If you start watching pornography, if you get introduced to pornography at a very young age and you keep consuming it, it's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard for you to get that thought, those images out of your mind, and you're going to be drawn to it, especially if you think there's nothing wrong with that. If you're taught there's nothing wrong with that, or like going out drinking and smoking and gang banging and all of this kind of stuff, if you're a child and you grow up in that, it's a hard life. It's a hard life, and that's the only life you know. So even countries do it. You are indoctrinated. You're indoctrinated at a very young age to think a certain way, to act a certain way, to dress a certain way. Why? So you can be controlled. So this would be the thing that controls you. You got to fit in like that. Well, T, honey, that's right, gangbang. That's right, gangbanging. Stuff like that. You go around, you steal and stuff like that because it's your way of life. But countries do it too. And school systems do it too. Colleges do it too. If they want you to learn a certain thing, they're going to ingrain it in you at a very young age. And you're no different than the child that you once was. You're no different because you could be a child who had a pretty peaceful life, but then you started looking into something different. You started listening to things that really aren't good for you, that you really wouldn't have liked to listen to, and seeing things, and it's so enticing. It's enticing. You think it sounds good, it looks good, and then you too, you get pulled right into it, and then you accept it. Even though it may not be right for you, but you accept it. Even with the news, the things they put on here, the news, the media, it's all over the place. Let's face it, the media glorifies sex. Okay, it does. It glorifies women being, if you want to be half naked, that's your problem. Okay, that's your prerogative. If you want to be half naked. But if you don't want your children going around, wearing clothes and showing their rear ends and, bikinis and dancing and putting all the makeup on at a very young age, looking like a grown adult, then don't subject them to it. You all don't do it. Let them live their childhood, okay? Let them be a child. Don't throw in what the media wants your child to be. You all don't do it. And you too. If it happened to them, it can happen to you. You're not immune. If I would start subjecting myself, if I thought, oh, I want to watch this movie, even though I don't like movies, and there's a lot of sex scenes in it and stuff, and that's all I watch. If I if I watch one and thought, oh, that aroused something within me, and I want to see what another one, oh, they got another one coming up. And if I kept consuming that and consuming that, I wouldn't be able to wait till they get to that part in the movie where they're having all that done. Now, I don't have nothing wrong with sex either, you all, I don't. There's a difference between sex and intimacy, where you're truly in there with one another. There's a total difference with that. But just raw, all that kind of, no. And your children are, it's in their face too. It's in their face. And I just hope that children who grew up in an environment who see this, I hope that one day, even though they may have been subjected to it, and you too, I hope that one day you can experience what it truly means to be in love with someone and share the most precious parts of yourself with that someone without getting all into, it's just lust, it's just sex and all that kind of stuff. This is a very different video. I apologize, I really do. But this is what I feel led to say. And I was thinking about little children, how, I'll be watching some videos, probably around 3, little bitty children about like this. And they're experts at certain types of dancing. And I thought, wow, at an age that little, like 5 or 6 also, because that's all they've been subject to. They've been trained, and they are better than the adults. They are, because they see it, they take it in, they act it out, and they get really good at it. And, they even do the facial expressions. They repeat what they say. They fit right into that culture. They do. So we're not that different. If it can happen to them, and you were a child once, it can happen to you as an adult. It could happen to me. It really could, you all. So I just want to, even like at church and stuff, you grow up in a church and you're hearing women are to be silent. You put the women in their place. Women aren't allowed to preach. Women cannot have short hair. Women can't wear pants. Women can't do this. Women can't do that. You are to be silent, total silence. You're not to open your mouth. Your husband is your head. He has authority over you. I don't like that word authority. I have a problem with authority. I do. Because it means I'm being controlled, and I don't like it. Even in a marriage, your husband, if you were a person in that, they should love you like Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. They should literally, that should be your marriage. It should be one that is very loving, very kind, and you're not belittled, you're not spoken down to. And it could be the wife. If you're speaking down to your husband, no. It's got to be even. You got to love one another. Okay? You do. And when you allow your eyes to drift to someone else, like if you're with somebody, have you seen this? I'm sorry, but this is where we're going. I have no idea who this is for. No idea, but this is coming out of me right now. Say you're with somebody. You got a wife, you got a husband, you got a partner, it doesn't matter, and you really like them, you're in love with them, and somebody walks by and you see them, their eyes keep following them, and they can't take their eyes off of this person. And you notice it's not just one person, it's everything that walks by, and you're thinking, okay, wait a minute, I thought it was me who, caught your eye. Why is your eye catching other people? If you're doing that right now, stop it, because you're making the other person feel really uncomfortable, and you're starting to make somebody very suspicious if you're that type of person. And it doesn't feel good to be on the receiving end of somebody like that either. Anything like that, you got to be careful what you allow yourself to see, what you allow yourself to listen to. You're no different than a little child, because this world has been turned upside down. Everything is thrown at us. Everything is thrown at us to break us down, dehumanize us, take away the humanity within us, take away our spirit, take away all that makes us who we are on the inside, throw the morals out the door. More or less, that's the society that we're in. Throw them out the door. Do what you want because it feels good. There's no boundaries. There's no nothing. Do what you want. It doesn't matter what somebody else thinks. It matters what you think on the inside, because it's all about pleasing this person on the inside. Now, you can make excuses for all the things that you do. You can. You can make excuses all day long and all night long. And you can justify every single thing you do. But remember, as a little child, that's all a little child knew. That's all a little child knew. They're really innocent because that's what they were brought up in. Whatever it is that you put in front of them, whatever it is they saw, they're truly innocent because they don't know better at times when they're really, really little. But then as they grow up, I think they know right from wrong, and even you as an adult, you know right from wrong. You know you shouldn't go out there and steal. You know you shouldn't really be, attacking people with your mouth, slandering people with your mouth, berating other people, attacking others who don't agree with you, just smearing people all over the place. No, I'm sorry. That there is right and there's wrong. But then now we live in the day and age where the wrong is right and the right is wrong, and it's okay for you to go around destroying someone with your mouth, doing whatever you want because it's all right. Where's your conscience? Did your conscience take a hike? Did you ever have a conscience? Maybe you once had a conscience and then your conscience got seared with a hot iron. You all this, I apologize. I don't even know who this is for. I have no idea, but this is for somebody. This is what it's for, somebody, you all. We become more or less what we consume. And it's like the same thing with food. If I sit and I eat a bunch of candy bars and I eat ice cream, I eat chips, I eat a lot of fried food, I just eat whatever I want, whenever I want, it's not going to be long before my body's going to start showing the effects on the outside and on the inside. My health is going to catch up with me. It is. And I'm probably going to have a lot of medical problems if I did that from an early age up into my teenage years and to an adult. I'm going to have a problem. My body's not going to work the way it should work. And the inside of me, God only knows what's going on the inside of me if I lived a life like that. So it's just like food. You are what you consume. Okay, you are. You can't sit and eat a bunch of junk food all day long, every single meal, eating maybe 3,000 calories or 4,000 calories every time you eat something, and you do that 3 times a day. I'm telling you what, your body's going to put on the weight. Now, I don't have nothing against people. If you're overweight or something, I don't have nothing against this. I'm just using that as an example also. It's what we consume, whether it be food, whether it be what we see, what we listen to. And there's lots of channels out there, YouTube channels, and all types of social media, all these websites and stuff you can go to, and they'll tell you exactly what you want to hear. If you want to hear people, lashing out at others, attacking other people of other faiths and stuff, you can find something like that will suit you, and then you too can just continue the cycle. You keep doing it too. You keep going and attacking people from different faiths too, because that's what you were used to, and you hear people condoning it, so you want to go do it too, because that's what you want. That's what you're feeding on the inside of you. You're feeding that hate. You're feeding it all on the inside of you. You are, and that's about it. That's about it. I think I'm about done doing my preaching, you all. I'm done doing my preaching. But this is, no, you all, if it can happen to children, if children can be taught at a very young age to be a certain way, to be expert dancers, I'm telling you what, they got them at really young ages. They're better than the adults. They pick up things like that so fast. But you're not immune as you grow up. You're not immune to what you see on the TV. You want to sit and watch sex scenes all the time. You want to watch people, shooting up people, just all kinds of junk. I just call it junk. You want to watch junk TV. You want to watch junk politics. You want to watch the warmongering. You want to watch the backbiting on the news and politics. If that's what you listen to a lot, if that's the type of news you like, it won't be long before you too are repeating exactly what you hear, and that becomes a part of you. It's in you, and if that's all you do every day, it's impossible for it not to come out of you. It's impossible. I haven't seen one instance where somebody, that's all they do is sit around and read from a certain point of view, news, politics, any area in their life from a certain point of view, a narrow-minded view, that don't come out of them. I haven't seen it yet. It comes out of them. If that's all that they hear and they tune out everything else. No, come on, we got to have a balance. We got to have a balanced appetite in what you watch and what you hear. It's got to be balanced. Okay, it is. And I understand, some people, I don't have a problem with, stuff like that in movies if that's what you want, but don't consume that all the time, and don't sit there and look at the person with your who you're with and think, well, I wish they were like this person that I've seen in the movies. Why can't they be this person? See, then that's not right to them either. If you're sitting there watching stuff like this and then you're imagining, hey, that's what my spouse needs to be like. That's what my spouse needs to be like. And then you imagine yourself, you're role playing. No, don't role play. You all stop the role playing because it's all a trap. It's all a trap. Can you just be you? Can you tune out all that other junk? Can you be you? Okay, can you? I think you can if you want it. But some people say, well, what if I don't want to? What if I like who I feel like, who I am right now? Because that's what I'm appealing to. So be it. You've chosen your path in this life. You've chosen the path that you're on, and there are consequences to every single path that we walk on in this life. There are consequences. Even your children, when they do things that you don't want them to do, because you know they'll get in trouble, and they continue to do it, is there not consequences? Is there not? There is. Even as adults, when you make decisions in your life that are not good for you, that are bad for you, and you know it, but you just tune it out, there's consequences, there's ramifications. It has a domino effect on whatever it is that you do. You're not immune. Your children are not immune. You think your children's going to tell you, I'm going to do what I want, and you're not going to do nothing about it. Well, they may talk to you like that because that's all they hear. I'm going to do what I want, and you're not going to do nothing about it. And if you try to do something about it, I'm going to come after you. There are children that talk to their adults like that. No. Who wants that? I don't want it. You don't want it. Do you want to be that person? Do you want to be that person? You want to imitate what you see in the movies and stuff like that on these TV shows, these YouTube channels and stuff? Do you want to be like them? Why can't you be you? That's what I want to know. Why can't you be you? Because there is a you on the inside of here. And you know there's a you on the inside of here. And I bet if you're watching this and you're listening, if this is for you, you know I'm right. You know I'm right. You know that you got off the path that you should have been on. You went way over there, but then you know that you're way over there and you want to come back, but you don't know how because of the pride within you. Get rid of the pride. Get rid of the pride. You're already fallen. You've already went far enough. You can come back. You can. You can come back, you all. And if you believe in the saving power of Jesus Christ, do it. If that's what you grew up in and you knew you used to be able to pray to Jesus and he would hear your prayers, then do it. He's still there. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. The same yesterday, today, and forever. And it doesn't even matter about if it's not even him, if it's something else, like another faith, and you would pray, and your life was a lot better, why not go back to that? Why not go back to what used to work for you instead of what don't work for you? Why not? There's no reason, none whatsoever, you all. You want to live your best life now. You really do. You want to tune out all the darkness, every single bit of it. You don't need the darkness. That's what it is. It's the darkness that is literally creeping into your children's lives, into your lives. If you're given in to all the negative, all the junk, all the hate, all the discrimination, all the backbiting, the slandering, all of it, if you're given into that, that's the darkness overshadowing you and the darkness trying to take over you. You can't let the darkness do it, okay? You can't. Have you ever wondered why they don't like to hear the name of Jesus? Really. And my channel is not, I don't sit here and get on, for all those people say, Gina, You might say, I thought you as a Christian, you don't mention the name of Jesus. I'm mentioning him now, but that's not what my channel's about. My channel, I like to look at the clouds, the UFOs, and any other thing. It's not that right there, you all. This is not a preaching channel. That's not me. Okay, but if I got something led within my heart to say, I'm gonna say it. So don't be doing that to me. You're putting me in a box. I speak up when I feel led within my spirit. And I will say Jesus when I feel led within my spirit. If I don't feel led within my spirit, I'm not going to talk about what I'm talking about now, because that's not what's on my heart. And that's not what's been laid on my heart. But I'm telling you what, I don't know who this is for, but be very careful what you're watching, what you're listening to, because you're no different than a child who is subjected to that too. You're no different. If it can happen to them, it can happen to you. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello, from my heart to yours. Love you. Thank you.